Alright y'all, today we're making biscuits homemade, and I'm showing y'all how I do my butter. I do it this way and just chop it up in little pieces instead of, like some of the others, they'll grate it. That's too time consuming and too much work. This works really quick and it gets it chopped up in little pieces real fast. So it's an easy way to get the butter throughout your biscuit dough. Alright, there's one stick done, and I'm just going to dump it in my bowl. And in case I didn't tell y'all, it is frozen because it just makes it easier to chop up. So I'm just going to dump it into my bowl. Scrape it all off. Okay, and then I'm going to do the other one. Alright, we're going to put this one in now. Scrape it all into there so we get all the butter. And to me, that's a whole lot easier than grating it or any other means of getting the butter to where it's able to be incorporated throughout. Alrighty, that's done. And I'm going to take my rings off and put them here because it's fixing to get messy.
And 1 cup measuring.
2, 3, 4. There's 3 cups. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's 4 cups, and this is our last one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead over here and I'm going to put some flour on my sheet for when I roll them out. Probably about a 1/2 cup, maybe a little bit more to the side just in case we need it. Alright, next we have a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I guess that's not wanting to stay on there today.
Because there's flour in there.
Alright, 2 1/2 teaspoons makes a whole. There's 1 and 2 1/2 teaspoons. Okay, we need a tablespoon of baking powder. So for our double batch, we'll need 2 tablespoons. I actually have a whole tablespoon today. 1 and 2. Alright, next we're going to add cream of tartar. And we'll finish off this 1 jar. It calls for a 1/2 teaspoon. Not sure I have quite a 1/2 in here, but I'll move on. Yeah, I actually do. Almost a 1/2 there. And that finishes that out. And then my new one, which somebody got into, 2 1/2 teaspoons, because the original recipe calls for 1 1/2 teaspoon each. Alright, now I'm just going to take a fork and I'm going to mix everything together so that it's all incorporated well, combined in with the flour and the butter. And then while I get everything else ready, I'm going to stick this in the freezer so it can be getting good and cold. And it helps to freeze that butter back up too. It started melting it all. Alright, another minute maybe. Alright, we need 2/3 of a cup of milk times 2. So how much is that going to be?
2 times. What is it?
2/3 and 2/3.
That is 1 and... Too much math.
1 1/3.
I don't know. Too much math.
1 1/3.
Is it 2/3 plus 2/3?
Makes 4/3, and 4/3 turns into 1 1/3. Alright, we have 1 1/3 cups milk. We may need to add a little more. We'll see whenever we actually mix them up. And then 2 eggs that I'm adding into this as well for my chickens. That one's got a feather on it still. I don't think we want the feather.
Just makes them fluffier.
Yeah.
That's how it works, right?
My little feather ain't wanting to come off. Stay!
Use
there.
the other eggshell.
I got it. Alright, and there's that. And then let me wash my hands and I'll be right back. Alright, now I'm just going to mix the egg and the milk together before we add it to the flour mixture, which is resting still in the freezer till I'm ready for it. And I just want to get it good and mixed together. Alright, I think that's good, and I think it's about time to bring the flour back out. Alrighty, here we go. We're just going to add this in. Slowly stirring it. You don't want to over stir because it'll make your biscuits tough, but you do want to get it incorporated in. That was just about the right amount, maybe just a touch more of milk. It all just depends on where you're at and how the weather's being that day and everything. So, give me 1 second to get just a bit more milk. And that's probably another 1/4 to 1/3 cup milk.
Guesstimating is very useful in this house.
Yes, it is. You want it to be able to hold together, but you don't want a super sticky dough. So that's the consistency we're going for. Now, honestly, might even need to add just a little bit more milk, because it's still got a little bit of flour down here that's not mixing in well. Add a little bit more.
Another 1/8 of a cup.
I probably should have measured that.
Probably got another 1/8 of a cup there.
No, it was probably about another 1/4 cup. So just say we added a 1/2 cup extra to it. So how much would that be? 1 1/3. 1 1/3 plus
1/2.
1/2. How much is that?
26. Another 1/8 of a cup.
I probably should have measured that.
Probably got another 1/8 of a cup there.
No, it was probably about another 1/4 cup. So just say we added a 1/2 cup extra to it. So how much would that be? 1 1/3. 1 1/3 plus
1/2.
1/2. How much is that?
26 and the 26 and the 6. What was it? 1 cup?
1 1/3 plus another 1/2 cup.
So that'd be 7 6. No, that'd be 5 6. 5 6. I don't know.
1 cup plus a 1/3 cup plus a 1/2. 1/2 turns into 3/6.
No, it turns into 2 6. 1/2.
1/2 is
Oh, I thought you
3/6.
said 1/3.
3/6. 3/6 and 2/6, which is a 1/3, is 5/6. So 1 5/6, which equals what approximately? Roughly 2 cups.
Or until it looks perfect.
Right, it needs to be to consistency, and I really should have measured for y'all, but I didn't. Alright, now this is why I took my rings off.
Took the rings off too early.
I didn't want to get my wedding ring and my mother's ring all doughed up. And you can do this out in batches. It doesn't matter.
Consistency.
Yeah, it is. It's a little wet, but it's okay because
I'll
that's.
tell you what it looks like. It looks like egg salad without the Without the, whatchamacallit, the pickle relish.
Does it?
That's what it looks like, don't it?
I guess kinda. Alright.
It even has the salt crystals.
There's that. And now I'm just going to sprinkle this over the top. I'm going to flour my cup. And you can use any cup you want to use, or you can use a actual cutter.
We just use this decorative cup.
It's one of my cups from the cabinet. But they have pastry cutters for doing it. You could use a cookie cutter if you wanted to be, you know, for the holidays. I have done that. I've made turkey biscuit looking biscuits.
You make a gingerbread house this year.
It's getting away from me. And I just put it on some parchment paper just because it's easier clean up for me.
Maybe.
It is because I don't have a...
Maybe.
Alright, and what I'm doing is I made a double batch because I freeze these. So when I get these made...
She makes them, she puts them on a plate, she freezes them. When she's ready for them in the morning, she'll cook them, get ready, they're done by the time she's ready.
Yes, but...
Did I just explain it?
I put them in a Ziploc after they freeze. I freeze them on a
platter.
No, I put them on the platter to freeze, but then when they freeze... Alright, once you've made all your biscuits that you could out of the first flattened out batch, then you just kind of roll it up and flatten it back out again and start again making more biscuits. And again, I'm just going to make it into a little mound and cut some more biscuits out. It's almost all done now.
And there is usually one that is the tiniest biscuit that you could get.
It's the ugly biscuit.
Or, you know, there's one that's huge.
Yeah. And I think this one's going to be a huge one.
It's either a biscuit pizza or a...
It ain't a biscuit pizza. It's just a big biscuit, usually. Yeah, I might be able to cut one more out of that.
That's one right there.
I could just leave him, yeah, I guess. That'll be my last biscuit. Alright, and then these are going to go in the freezer until they freeze up. And then we'll transfer them to a Ziploc. Go ahead and stick those in. Okay, one of my sons has decided he wants to have a couple biscuits, so they're not frozen yet, but they've been in the freezer, so I'm going to throw in 3 biscuits and let them cook, and that way you can see. And I still have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 biscuits to go in the freezer. Okay, and that is how they look after 30 minutes of baking. Nice, fluffy, yummy biscuits. Alright, we are ready to bag up our biscuits. I just put today's date and biscuits on it, so if anybody's curious as to what's in there, in case it becomes a mystery, they won't last long. Here's the biscuits, and just give me 1 second and I'll start sticking them in the bag. Alright, as you can see, they just pretty much pop up off the parchment paper fairly easy. And I just stick them into the bag. And then we do the bottom row, and they're even easier to get up. And if they stick together like you just seen those two, if you did, you just kind of break them apart like here. Just do a little pop like that, break them apart, and stick them in the bag. Now those are ready, where all we have to do is put some tinfoil on a pan and stick a few on there and let them bake in the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes or until they're golden brown on top. And then you have fresh biscuits anytime, even when you don't feel like pulling everything out and making them. Hope y'all enjoyed.